introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Robin from Soothsayers.
And I'm Idris, and I play the saxophone, Rob plays the trumpet, we both sing and we both write music, and we are the Soothsayers.
Can you please tell us about the band a little bit?
Okay, so yeah, we started playing music together, me and Rob, over 10 years ago, and we've concentrated really on music, reggae music, dub, and African influenced stuff like Afrobeat and township stuff as well. We've drawn a lot of influences from those kind of areas, and we've over the years put them together into our own style, which is now a kind of amalgamation of those kind of influences. Our shows are involved. There's 7 people in the band. It can be more. It's nice when it's a bigger band. In fact, we have recently been doing gigs with 4 piece horn section, as well as 2 guitars, keyboards, drums and bass, and also percussion sometimes. And singing has become more important the more time we spent working on our own music. And we have now developed a kind of 3-part harmony style, where myself, Rob, and Julia Beale, who is the other main singer in the band, do a lot of 3-part vocal harmonies. And so yeah, we've built up that kind of thing over time, and that's much more a feature of our music now.
Yeah, the vocal style, if you think about the Wailers, Gladiators, Culture, all those type of 3-part harmony, Jamaican reggae groups, major influence.
You guys have also worked with some famous reggae singers as well. Can you name some of them, and how did you come about working with these singers?
Well, we work with mainly we work with Johnny Clark from Jamaica, also Michael Prophet, L16, Linval Thompson. More recently we worked with Cornell Campbell and another singer called Luton Fire. Firstly, we were just introduced to them, but I think Linval Thompson was the first person to introduce us, and that was through a guy called David Katz, who's a writer. He's written books about Lee Scratch Perry. He's written another book called The Oral History of Reggae. He's a friend of mine, so he just introduced me to Linval, because he knows Linval quite well. And then we just played him some music, he was into it, so just some recording. He recorded on our album One More Reason. Yeah. And then similar story with Johnny Clark, and then Michael Prophet got introduced with some different person, but you know, it's just most of these guys are up for working with people who are doing music they like, you know, and our music's slightly different to the kind of mainstream reggae stuff, so I think that they're kind of like, you know, there's a sort of added sort of interest in some ways, just because it's slightly different, so it's a kind of new challenge for those type of singers to work with us. And then we've done quite a lot of live shows with Johnny Clark around the UK and Europe, quite a few with Michael Prophet as well, a couple with L16, and then this summer we're going to be doing some with Cornell Campbell, who's coming over from Jamaica, so that's quite exciting.
So what does the reggae...
They love it. Well, you know, it's different. It's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be authentically Jamaican, or obviously we're not Jamaican, or do an sort of, as you were, an authentic reggae thing, because although we take those influences, we're trying to do something slightly different with the music. So obviously, if you're a very conservative reggae lover who only likes reggae to be approached from a certain angle, then maybe you're going to have some difficulty with what we're doing. But generally, the response is, you know, really positive, because we're trying to take the music to a slightly different place, do something, you know, something original or innovative with the music. You know.
Can you tell us about your upcoming releases, starting from the EP, please?
Yeah, we've got an EP coming out in late February, which is going to be a vinyl and limited edition vinyl and a download of some of the stuff that's going to be on our next album, which will be coming out in September. So the EP release is in February, and we're doing a gig at Passing Clouds to coincide with that, and then the album launch, the Rich Mix, 29th of September. So that album's coming out, start of September. Looking forward to that. That's going to be exciting. The album's sounding good. We're off to the studio in a minute to do some more recording for that, and the EP will be probably 3 tracks from the album with some dub mixes, so it'll be a 6-track vinyl, basically.
Can you briefly tell us about the album, who's in it? Have you got any artists featuring in it? And what is this album about?
Well, the last album we did, One More Reason, was featured Michael Prophet, Linval Thompson, Johnny Clark, Mellow Baku, a guy called Bob Skeng, as well as Soothsayers vocally, doing vocals. This album's going to be mainly, in fact, it will be all Soothsayers vocals tracks. So we're developing the 3-part harmony thing, so we want people to hear that. So this album's going to be focused on that. There might be a couple of bonus tracks featuring maybe Cornell Campbell and Luke Fox. We released a 7-inch earlier this year with those guys on it, so they might go on the album as little bonuses. But the album is going to be basically focused on our vocals.
Okay.
So it probably won't have as many guests on it this time.
What kind of sort of themes or subject matters you're touching on in this album? Is there any?
Well, there's quite a range of subject matters, but and they're open to interpretation as well. But there's some politically motivated songs in there that would talk about sort of the monetary system, bankers, and our feelings about that. There's other songs that talk about displacement of peoples, and there's quite a lot of different influences in there, but we don't really want to say too much necessarily about what the songs are about, and it's nice when people make their own interpretation of what the songs are.
There's personal stuff in there, stuff about what's going on in the world at the moment. Hopefully it's uplifting as well, there's stuff about this reality, reggae music and whatever, Afrobeat and all those things. They're talking about things that happen, and usually it's about reality, but at the same time it's got to be positive, and try and make people feel good, even though it's dealing with some stuff that might be not necessarily the best, how the world is at the moment.
No, absolutely. It's important.
You've got to talk about what's going on, really,
yeah.
But then try and be positive and say, well, we can get out of it. What can we do about it? Just think about it, just thinking about it, and being honest about it. You can find us at redearthmusic.co.uk, also Facebook, and all over YouTube as well. Look out for the new album and the EP coming out soon. Red Earth Records, out on vinyl and download. We'll love it.